Buddy, it's not so crazy, lady. Can't make saying out of crazy. Rumpkin News and this channel, my bitch moment channel, my tell you like it really is. I'm going to switch formats up. I'm going to leave the Rumpkin News for the freaking Rumpkin News. The reason why everything's jumbled there was because somehow YouTube lost my channel for the Not So Crazy Lady channel for about 6 months. So let's talk, shall we? Let's talk about real shit. Let's talk about the truth that's going on in this fucked up world. Now, I've had people tell me to clean up my filthy mouth, and I just see it as if you can't handle the truth, that's your problem. You can play video games with alternate realities where you as a demon get to screw your daughter, but I can't tell you that there is actual websites about virtual realities where you get to be a father demon who gets to screw his incubus daughters. So excuse me if I don't find that fucking hypocrisy palatable. In other words, I'm not swallowing your bullshit. So, if you want to play with me on this channel, if you would like to refreshingly be able to talk real stuff, I'm going to be going live. It's going to be taking a lot of courage for me to do this, as I'm just recuperating from falling into a cactus 7 years ago. That's right, people. It took me 7 years to just recuperate from the cactus thing. This is why I don't do AA interventions anymore. Because you dangling a drunk, your kid over a prickly pear cactus, drunk, threatening to drop the kid in said prickly pear cactus while you've got 8 people around you feeding your fucking insanity and your infantile behavior by coddling you and telling you that because your mommy beat you when you were a kid, it's okay to drink and almost kill people. After that intervention, and after having my friends for 3 years, what few I eventually had to isolate myself because the nightmare of what was going on was so unfathomable that it was just easier to not be around people, especially when I had to shave my head and I lost my upper palate. Look it up. I literally cannot or could not for a couple of years use a dental appliance, my upper palate plate denture that I had because I had my jaw fractured so many times that I eventually, the teeth just got so loose I lost them. So I had to have reconstructive surgery, and I had an upper plate. And those became embedded, that became embedded with prickly pear spine, so I couldn't put the appliance in my mouth. It was no longer useful for the last 3 years. Yes, this is why I talk funny. So go ahead if you need to make your cruel jokes, your sarcastic remarks, get them out of the way, because I've heard them all. And let's get to the real deal. I have never received a penny to this date from YouTube, Google, any of those things. They never, ever. If there's money out there, I don't know where it is. Not 1 red cent have I received from other people through the social media campaign. Not my GoFundMe account that I tried, none of that. I'm obviously doing something wrong. Not blaming other people. I'm doing something wrong. But when I have people tell me to stop begging, when I'm putting my life on the freaking line to get you information that I'm capable of providing for you, that I'm willing to do, that other people who are living high on the fucking hog are not, because it's safer for them, it's easier, it's an easier, softer way. Well, screw you when you give me a hard time about trying to protect children, trying to save people from fucking up their own lives, like I did, because I believed what these assholes told me. So we're going to get into some pretty heavy shit here. I'm going to use this format for my rants, my bitch moments, my in-your-face truth, and the raw reality of what we are doing to society daily by ignorance, acceptance, tolerance, diversity. You want to put everybody in this pedophilic blender and sexualize everything. If you look not that hard, you will be able, I guarantee you, to come with every fucking perversion you could possibly think of at a fingertip. And you want to know why people are going the fuck off, why they're losing their minds, why they're raping children, while they're raping animals. Why? That's why. Because you're being run by your genitalia. Trust me. I wish I didn't know this stuff. I wish I had gone through life with blinders on and didn't have to wonder why the pervert always picked me. What was it about me that made the perverts and the jack-offs that would drive around the block while I'm waiting for the school bus, or the dirty guy who acts like a good father, but when I go to have him take me home as a babysitter, he wants to rape me? And the one that did get to do that because I was in a position where there was nobody to help me, then threatened my family if I told. Or the guy that stopped his white van as I was going to ballet school at 13, opened the sliding door and threw me in the van. And I was found 4 days later in the fucking desert, half alive. See, people don't understand that we are re-victimized over and over and over again because we wear it. It wasn't until a cop rescued me that I could trust and put me on a sailboat, and I even screwed that up because there was this implanted trigger that when things got too good, too comfortable, too calm, all I heard was the ticking time bomb that somebody, somehow, somewhere, when I was not prepared, was going to pull the rug out from underneath me and blow my world up. So just like a controlled explosion where the robot goes and takes the bomb away from society and puts it in an enclosed container and blows it up, was what I did for a good 3 years of my life 2 decades ago. I ruined what was a good start to going around the world on a sailboat. But I knew deep down inside I was going to make it, because there was something inside of me that said, you're not allowed to be happy. You're not allowed to be free. You're not allowed to not be called a slut and a whore. You're not allowed to not engage in domestic violence. Because first you get hit, then you hit back, then you hit first. So what I had endured, I became. Until it all exploded on the California freeway outside of Oceanside, California, where I was working for a bar called One More, That's It. Oh yeah, I've got lots of those where, you couldn't hang a freaking neon sign over my head and I still couldn't see it. I got lots of those stories, and that's what's going to happen here at this channel, where I'm going to be able to unleash this, let it go, tell people, and maybe, just God willing, and the fates align, there's one person out there that says, oh my God, that's where I am. And I don't have to suffer like that woman did. I don't have to wear the scars inside and out and be humiliated and shamed and deal with a broken, painful, racked body every day from the multiple beatings that I took, the car accidents I was in, the almost deadly rapes that were perpetrated upon me, and the multiple times that I was choked, strangled to unconsciousness. And that's not counting the period of time where I self-medicated because nobody would help me. They wanted to offer these boxes. You go to the 12-step program over here because you're an alcoholic addict. No, I'm a broken person in pain who's depressed. I'm not depressed because I can't drink. Dumbass. I can't drink like other people, and that depresses me. Because I can't even use that to escape this fucking hellhole. So if you can imagine the movie Blind Date on steroids, that would be me. Sometimes I could control it, but I have an allergy to alcohol. It's not my friend. It's not your friend when I drink it. The fact that I don't drink alcohol keeps you safe every day. But it finally took over 4 decades. 4 decades. Think about that. From the time I was 13 and beaten so badly I almost died and was raped, to now, to get through, plus all the traumas, beatings, blackouts, how the fuck did I end up here, kind of shit. Not counting all of that, because trust me, people, you may not understand this, but every time you have a blackout, that's brain damage. Let that sink in for a minute. Every time you drank to puking, or you did stupid shit that damaged your body, like going with people you don't know and hoping they don't kill you, thinking you're so powerful and untouchable that you won't end up in these situations, thinking you are not them, you're not one of me, so it couldn't happen to you. It can, it does, and at this rate, every single human being born on this planet, trust me, will be some way, somehow, whether by proxy through the media, just a little bit by friends of the family, or full out abuse. Every single child will be touched by pedophilia. No pun intended. That should scare you. If you actually knew how many times a day your child was subjected to brainwashing, NLP programming, hypnosis, black magic, and that's another thing we're going to touch on, how these fucking criminals are using black magic, rituals, hypnosis, and all this other stuff to sexually abuse your child, because 90% of children are in a pre-set condition of hypnosis. They're already implanted with triggers. They're already programmed. You just don't have the book. You don't have the program guide. You don't have the go guys. Hopefully I'll give you some of those. Hopefully my words and this endeavor, because I survived the cactus. Not even the fucking cactus could kill me. So my job isn't done here until the big kahuna tells me it's done, because every time I should have died, I still woke up. The day I heard about JonBenet Ramsey's death, I was in a one-room apartment coming out of a fucking week-long binge because I hated me, my life sucked, and I couldn't go sailing anymore because I screwed that up. So with a horrible hangover, I remember hearing that news. So there are times during that era, that period, where my reference points, like 9/11 and stuff, are of that. Hearing those particular events in life with those conditions I was living. I don't know what white privilege is. I've never experienced it. I do know what black privilege is, and it's getting apparent, and I'm tired of the race bullshit, so I talk about that too. Because I'm telling you, women, you're losing your fucking minds. There's a difference between being a little nuts, a little crazy, and being psychopathic, being sociopathic, being homicidal, infanticide. You people are cutting your head. Not just black women, women. This is why the right can't comprehend what the left is doing, because the left has taken over the deplorables. It's amazing how they call you exactly what they are. So anyway, this is my introduction to this. If you're interested, hang around. It's going to be a bumpy ride. If anything I say to you resonates, stick around. You help me. Because I'm at a stage of my life where even if people said, you need to go talk to so-and-so, or you need to do this, I've already done that. They didn't help. I'm at the point where I'm telling the psychiatrists what's going on. I'm at the point where I'm advocating for people to medical doctors because they're clueless. And I'll say this one thing. People like Tucker Carlson, I like you, but you're putting people like me in a really bad position by lumping us with the people who believe, who ended up as addicts because they wanted to be. Believe it or not, there are people so in love with the drug itself, they abandon all. Those are the people that go through rehabs and over again. Broken people still end up with the same set of conditions they had before all of this circus started, because those are the issues that aren't being treated. I can talk to you about the times I was raped abused, almost killed. Does that make those times go away? No, it doesn't. The conditions that led to those circumstances have only gotten worse. So how are you helping prior victims not have this happen again? Not turn into the people that perpetrate this? You're not. It's all about the money. Because I've come full circle. I've still got a fractured jaw that's healed. I've still had most of my bones broken. I've still been through a windshield. I've still almost drowned. I've been raped multiple times, brutally. I've been stabbed. I've been shot. I have been strangled. I've been thrown in a freezing river. Those are just a few. None of that changed. So all of your tricks, techniques, and black magic, voodoo, hypnosis crap doesn't work. Also, here's another clue. Never let your child be hypnotized by anybody, please. You're cutting off the spiritual connection to God, to that conscious voice, that gut voice that tells you, your intuition. I went to a hypnotist. My mother took me because I was having nightmares about when I was raped at 13 by a serial killer, left for dead, found by two telephone company employees who didn't want to get in trouble because they were afraid that they would be accused of what had happened to me. So they just dumped me at the emergency room. Hair cut off, beaten, bug bitten, dehydrated, delirious. Oh, and by the way, he had my book bag and my ballet bag. So I took phone calls for months about how he was going to do the same thing to my little brother. That's just the physical. Let's not even go into the mental booby trap that would be doing that right now. So, this is an extreme channel for an extreme passionate person. If you don't like it, don't watch, don't listen. But if there's anything I can do, offer, that keeps your children safe and you safe, take it. If you want to support the channel, great. Go to PayPal, paypalme.com/notsocrazylady69. Do that. Throw me a buck. Leave me a tip for my video. Tip your provider. I would be absolutely flabbergasted if you did. I'd walk around looking like the kid in Home Alone. Oh my God, they did it. I got a buck. But abuse is what I'm used to dealing with, so if you think you're good at it, I've been in the ring with the best. I don't think you're up to the challenge when you have professional molesters, abusers, and psychological tormentors doing it. But give it your best shot if that's what floats your boat. So, this is the Not So Crazy Lady channel. This is Bitch Moments and the whole truth, nothing but the truth. If you want to share some of the stuff that I'll be doing with your younger people as a tool to help them not get in situations, I'll be doing videos about how to keep yourself safe, how to trust your gut, things like that. So this is a new adventure. I've had this channel for a while, but I haven't done anything with it because I wanted to save it to just right. And I've almost got all the thorns out of my hands, and this treatment that the doctor tried to use to get the thorns out almost offered me. So this last adventure, just imagine if somebody dropped you into a prickly pear cactus, then told you that it was impossible for you to be covered in spines even though you live in a desert by an MD. Then have so-called professionals roll you in Elmer's glue, because that was one of the things they tried, peeling them out with some Elmer's glue. That didn't work. Then they poured paraffin wax on you, like on your feet and your hands to get them out. Yeah. Although you're trying to tell them that, hey, you still didn't get the glue residue off, I'm still dealing with that. You have all these thorns in your car. They're now in your trailer. Kind of along the lines of like kitty litter when you spill it. And it just seems to go everywhere. And you got it on the bottom of your feet. And you just, you don't like it. Well, that's what they did to me. Now I had really long hair. And women will get this part. Sometimes there's only a choice between like dyeing your hair or Smirnoff. And I've already told you that Smirnoff and I are not real good friends. So I would choose Revlon. And women also know that when you color your hair, you lose hair. Correct? Now, you have to understand, I didn't know any of these factors were combining to make this gigantic nightmare. Until about, oh, I forgot. On my other channel, you'll see Baby, the dog. Well, she sheds like a shepherd, and I had a couple cats. And I live in the desert, so we go barefoot, things like that. And the only thing that would bring any relief was to lie in a hot bathtub. Unbeknownst to me, I was creating this set of factors that the equation would be almost unfathomable. But about a year and a half in, I'm explaining to this doctor, look, I'm walking around with mitts on my hands because I can't get this wax off. My hands were 3 times the size they were. Massive infections from the thorns. I had to shave my head because I had unknowingly created I can't even describe this shit. This bodysuit of wax, the Elmer glue residue, the dog cat hair, the thorns. So basically it's kind of like one of those Plinko games, or Pinhead. Imagine Pinhead, but just really smaller thorns. And then your dog's rubbing up against you. If you've ever seen the way they make thread, yarn, wool, you're getting the hint. So as I'm standing in the shower one day after using a friend's homemade soap to get this residue off, I look. The only way I can describe it is, imagine if somebody took you and rolled you in about 15 of those hair nets from head to toe. In all my experiences before, something broke at that moment, because at that moment I knew there wasn't no talking out of it, there wasn't no running away from it, there was no getting drunk to get away from it, there was no smoking to get away from it, there was no getting away from it. It was like someone had taken every dirty secret I had and sewn it on me. And I was in a suit I can't get out of. And for the last 7 years, that's what I've been dealing with. So forgive me if I'm a little short. Forgive me if I'm a little strained. Forgive me if I'm just a little nuts. I don't think you could live through it and keep your sanity. The picture that is on my website, on my channel at Rumpkin News, is what I looked like the year before I went or this happened. That was the cruise I went into on with my friend. The next spring, that was in October. The next spring is when all this happened. And just now coming out of it. I'll be posting some pictures to let you know that I'm not making this up, that this really did happen to me. I couldn't make this up. You couldn't make this up. You could not sit and think of a story to come up with that people will go, yeah, I could buy that. That could happen. And all through this, you're asking, you're begging for help, and nobody's helping you. And the one doctor that helped you when Obama came into office quit. So I've been on my own with this. I'm disabled before that happened. I don't want to live my life like this. I don't want to leave this planet not contributing to someone's life that I know I helped. There's lots of people I've helped, lots and lots of people, but I do that anonymously, and I do that over the phone, and I do it through interventions, and I do it through referrals or advocacy. I want to know that my words personally achieved something. So, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. You think that people can handle this? You think that I can handle this? And I don't know. We'll take it from there. Take care. The Not So Crazy Lady out.